we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gianni Battici YouTube show. This is my wildcard draft. I've had loads of people request it, not just because they're on wildcard. Obviously, they would want to see drafts, but actually just for managers moving forward with your transfers. Who are the players that I've got on my watch list effectively? They're all the guys that are going to be in this wildcard draft. So stay tuned to see it. Also in today's show, we will be seeing Ed, who is my very good mate. He's the general manager of Fantasy Football Scout. I'm sure many of you know Ed. Ed's going to be joining us. If you've ever watched Ed on YouTube, you're in for giggles, smiles, and laughs. He's going to be joining us probably in about 20 minutes or so for his wildcard draft, because he's actually on a wildcard. So we're going to show my wildcard now. We're going to talk about that for a bit. We're obviously always going to be answering your questions when we can, but we're also going to look at Ed's draft and chat about his team. He's gone for a couple of controversial ones, as you would expect. He's casual is too unfair on Ed, but he's not the most considered, thoughtful manager, let's say. Hello to all those in the chat. I'm conscious many of you will be watching this on catch up on Thursday afternoon and Friday morning. Obviously, the deadline this week is Friday evening, but loads of you are joining in the chat as well. So hello to FPL Down Unders with us. Matthias is with us. Good to see you guys. If I sort my buttons out, I can start showing some comments on screen as well. So hey team, hope all is well, and thank you for joining. I do want to answer some questions as well, and actually I've got a few images to show, both with defenders and the reasons why I've made the transfer I've made this week, which if you're not aware, I've already made a transfer. Hello to Dave, and thank you, Dave, for signing up as a channel member. I've already made a transfer, right? I made this on Tuesday night because I thought Estupinan was going to be going up in value. He didn't. He went up on Wednesday night instead. Cool. But I sold Trent. There's a lot of managers out there going, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? It worked for my team. And if you want to see my team selection video, I've spoken about this in depth. I only had 2 fit playing defenders. I think there's a chance Mo Salah comes back for game week 24. There's a chance, I think, a good chance Egypt don't make it past the quarters. They'll play Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Morocco. Tough game. So that's where I'm at. I might be holding Salah. My second transfer this week is either to roll if Charlie Taylor is fit. We should get a Burnley press conference this afternoon where we know more about Taylor. I did look at the Instagram reel that Burnley uploaded last night of training yesterday. I couldn't see Taylor in it. It doesn't look great for Taylor at the moment. So if Taylor's not around, I'm probably going to be selling Son as well. I've got 6.4 to spend as my Son replacement if I want to leave enough money in the bank for Darwin to Haaland, which is likely my move in 22. So that allows 6.4. Well, Pascal Gross is exactly 6.4. So that's probably who I'm looking at, or I could save money and go to Garnacho. But hello, Daniel, as well in the chat. And thanks for the thumbs up, Dave. Daniel says sneaking on my lunch break. Love that. So look, before we see my wildcard team, what do I think about Garnacho in for Son? Yeah, Mateus, I think that's the second player. Like, it all depends on money, doesn't it? A lot that will be selling Son or Salah are doing so to leave enough money in the bank for Haaland. And if Son to Garnacho enables you Haaland in one move next week, then yeah, I like that move very much. We'll talk about captaincy. I've actually got a poll running, so do please vote in the poll. So far, Palmer is the favourite. Now, it's interesting because my captain options this week are, I'm ruling Palmer out. I'm not going to captain Palmer. I'm going to captain Saka or Foden or Darwin, but I'm not going to captain Palmer, which you might be surprised at. I'm a Chelsea fan. No, not for me. But loads will go there, and I don't think it's a bad call. Like, I think they're all good options. It's a week to maybe have a little bit of fun with captaincy. Always good to watch your videos. Thanks, Stephen. That's very kind of you, mate. But look, the image on screen, I want to show my wildcard team in just a sec. And thank you guys for hitting the like button. If you can all hit the thumbs up. And by the way, I'm going to do a deadline stream tomorrow, so I'll answer a lot of these questions in the deadline stream, where it's 2 hours of your questions. So that'll be at 4:15 tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that up to the deadline. We might even get some City team news. I don't know if we will. Premier League, game week 21, goals and clean sheet odds. This is from what the bookies will tell you, what the markets are suggesting. And I think it's really interesting when we look, like, if you're not sure how to read this straight away, just look on and go, who are the teams this game week that are back to score 2 goals? I wouldn't be putting the armband on a team that was under 2 here. So the teams with 2+, right? We can see Chelsea 2+, Arsenal 2+, Brighton 2+, Man City 2+, and Liverpool 2+. And as always, that's where our captaincy is looking. I mean, Brighton, we haven't spoken about in the captaincy conversation. If you own an Estupiñán or a Gross, could you captain them? I'm not so sure. But Man City, Liverpool, obviously Chelsea and Arsenal. They're the 4 big ones, right? Bring back the turtleneck. Yeah, I've not worn a turtleneck in a while. I've bought a whole new collection of hoodies. This one is, I can't say what this one is. I don't know if you can read it. Let's just say. This one says Arsenal. This one is from the Arsenal mega store. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I like the hoodie very much. And Arsenal gifted it to me when I was doing some work for their YouTube channel. I presented some videos and they were like, this guy needs to wear some Arsenal branding. And I was like, please don't put me in the Arsenal training kit. But when they gave me a blue hoodie, I'm like, I'm a Chelsea and Italy fan and you're walking over to me with a blue hoodie to wear on Arsenal YouTube. Yeah, that will work. So I did a video with Jorginho and Smith Rowe and Xhaka end of last season. And there I am in this hoodie. Pretty cool. On form Areola captain, I don't know about that. João Pedro, I don't mind that at all, Eddie. And actually, when we see my wildcard team in just a sec, we're going to see João Pedro in it. In terms of clean sheet, clean sheets are really hard to predict, aren't they? And look, there's the percentage along the side there. There's not too many that are kind of safe bets. Like Arsenal by far are the team to keep a clean sheet this week. According to the bookies, Arsenal are over 50%. Very rare you get that. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. The chat is for subscribers only. So I'm thinking there's a few of you watching that perhaps aren't subscribed. If you want to chat, and please do, come and ask a question, then you got to subscribe, I'm afraid. I'm blackmailing you. Would you take a -4 to remove Son? Get Bowen. I don't know if I'd be taking hits to move Son. Yeah, probably. Probably with your flags. Yeah. Dave, as a channel member, I'm going to answer any channel member questions straight away. Still never owned Palmer. May bring him for Son this week. Yeah. Sticking by Saka for captain. Yeah. Do you know what, Dave, I mean, Dave, this doesn't apply to you as much because you're not hitting this week. But when people always ask me, should I take a hit for this player? Without seeing their team, it's difficult, right? But straight away, I always go, yeah, take a hit if you're captaining them. If you think the best captain this week is Palmer and you don't own Palmer, take him in for a -4. That's absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? I always think hits, if you don't own the best captain choice of the week, you're going to be on edge. You're going to be wary. So I always try and usually we own the best captain choice because we have teams that have Son, Salah, Haaland in already, Saka, whatever, Trent. But if you go, that's the best captaincy option, I don't own him, then 1, you should transfer him in. And 2, if it requires a hit, do it. Who do you think will be Liverpool's talisman? Well, if you watched last night, Darwin came on 30 minutes to go, caused absolute chaos. 2 assists. Would have been a 10-pointer for Darwin in FPL. 2 assists and the 3 bonus. Jota also looked really good. And in my wildcard team, we're going to see a Liverpool attacker. And it's a different attacker to that who I have in my actual team. So look, this was useful to have a quick look at. But let's move on and see my actual wildcard, shall we? So, you got a very quick look of Ed's. Ed is going to be joining us in 15 minutes or so. So let's bring a smaller comment on screen so you can see full screen. Does it make a difference if I play around like that? No, I don't think that changes the size of the actual team, does it? It does a little bit. What do you prefer? Let me know in the chat. Half and half. Is that big enough? I know a lot of you might be on mobile. So let's have a look. How is my wildcard team setting up? And do you like it? Like, let me know in the chat if you're on a wildcard and if you think I've made any absolute howlers here. But let's talk about it in a bit more detail, shall we? So in goal, hard this season, isn't it? Dubravka and Areola are doing nothing wrong, and they've had a couple of good weeks, but I still think Raya is a gift at his price. Look, I don't rate Raya particularly in this Arsenal number 1 position at the moment, but Raya is 4.7 Arsenal defender, right? You're going to get points. And then look, I've gone Dubravka because he's 4.0, and I don't know if Newcastle... I think Dubravka has played good enough football in the last 6 weeks, especially the last couple of weeks. And we'll ask Eddie, he's a Newcastle fan. I think Dubravka keeps his spot. So I don't think they're going to buy a keeper till Nick Pope's back. So, Dubravka and Raya. I've got triple Arsenal. And the reason I like triple Arsenal is we know Arsenal will play in game week 26, and there's a good chance, well, a chance Arsenal play in game week 29. So again, this helps us navigate the doubles of 25, which could be City and Liverpool. So you'll see here two Liverpool and 3 City. It helps us navigate the blank in 26. So yes, sure, Liverpool and Chelsea could blank, but I've only got 3 players there. And then the blanks in 29, we know more about that by then, and we can start using free transfers. Guys, I'm seeing questions. When is the best time to use the second wild card? I should address that. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, don't trust many Arsenal goals. Jeremy, I would say the best time to use it is whenever it works for your team. I always say this. But in a snapshot as when you guys should be using your second wildcard, for me, it's always around the blanks and doubles. So at the moment, I'm looking at a wildcard in 30 because the double in 25, we can navigate. City and Liverpool, sure, will have their players already. 26 blank is going to be a small blank. And the Liverpool and Chelsea players that could blank, I think we'll probably want in our teams in the weeks around. Many will only have 1 Chelsea and 2 Liverpool, like this wildcard draft. And then the blank in 29 is an issue. But the blank in 29 is only going to have 4 fixtures, probably. And they're going to be fixtures of teams we're not that interested in. Would you really want to use a free hit? No, it's a low upside free hit in the blank game week of 29. 29 is the biggest blank of the season. So with that in mind, you dead end your team. So in game week 27, you might roll the transfer. In 28, you might use 1. In 29, you go into it going, I've got 2 free transfers and I can sell players like Arsenal assets because I know in game week 30, they play Man City anyway, and I can wildcard in 30, or I can wildcard in 31. So depending on when works and fits best with your team, a wildcard in 30, 31, having dead-ended to the blank game week in 29, that's my strategy at the moment. But strategies can change, and I'm not 100% fixed on that. So I'm likely to use my triple captain in game week 25, which could see a Haaland or a Mo Salah double fixture. And they're good fixtures, especially for Salah. Although I'll be a bit wary if he gets too many minutes at AFCON. And then the 26 is fine. So 25 triple captain. 26 and 9, you navigate with free transfers. 30 would be when I wildcard, possibly 31. And then that leaves me with bench boost and free hit. And then that double game weeks later in the season. Game week 37 is always a big double. Should be a big double. Probably bench boost there. Possibly free hit there if I'm not building around that. It depends who the players in form, who the players I'm targeting at the time. But yeah, that's how I'm set. So look, this is my wildcard draft. Let's talk through it. I've said about the goalkeepers. At the back, Arsenal are the best defense in the league, underlying data. So I've got Raya and Gabriel there. Estupinan, let's have a look at some of the defensive data, shall we? Because Estupinan is keeping very good company. So far this season, the expected goal involvement per 90. Per 90 is really important when you're comparing players like Estupinan, who have been injured for most of the season. Estupinan is putting up the same number as Trent. Trent is having a worldy season. Estupinan, for creativity and goal involvement, is up there with Trent. He's better than Pedro Porro and Reece James. This is the per 90 stat. And he's just behind 0.1 Trippier and Cash, 0.2. Very little in it, guys. This is the company. He's 5 million now. I like Estupinan very much, and he has to be on a wildcard draft. Also, when you look at the fixture ticker from Fantasy Football Scout, if you filter by difficulty all the way through to game week 29, number 1 team in there are Brighton, right? Good fixtures. You might go, oh, they've only kept 1 clean sheet all season. Yeah, but their defensive data is middling. It's not bad. And in the Europa League, they've kept a fair few clean sheets, I believe. So they're fine defensively, and you're buying Estupinan for attacking returns, as we've just seen. Guys, do me a favor. There's loads of you tuning in now. Where in the world are you watching? Let me flash up some countries. Come on, hit me with a country. Where in the world are you? Let me flash up some countries in the chat. And as you're doing that, you can vote on the captaincy poll. I want to know who you captain this game week. That's in the chat. And you can also, hopefully, like and subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, that would be amazing. So, where was I? Defenders. Should we talk about Kyle Walker? I think we have to. Man City are very likely to double in game week 25. In game week 25, we're going to look at it and go, why don't we all have 3 Man City? How can we get there? And Kyle Walker will be absolutely someone we look at. He's gone up in value, and he is the most owned at the City defenders, but he's also the most nailed, like pretty much played 90 every week. He's the captain. I would want Kyle Walker in my team. We've got some countries coming in. Trinidad, Melbourne, love that. Uganda, Nigeria, awesome. Good luck in AFCON, Nigeria. I'm cheering Nigeria on, you know. Always have the best kits as well. The only Nike kit in the tournament. Loads in Zimbabwe as well. Loads of you in Africa. Hello to all my African watchers. South Africa as well, Chris. Ryan is in Canada, in the Rockies, where it's minus crazy amounts. Uganda, Australia. I can't believe how many Maldives. So many of you in Africa. We've got Bulgaria and Croatia represented. Lancashire. Nice to have someone in England. There we go, guys. Thank you for watching, as always. So look. Double Arsenal defence with Walker, the two best defences in the league. Estupiñán we've spoken about. And then Trent. Look, I've just sold Trent in my actual team. Yes, more. Ghana as well. Bailey in Scotland. There we go. So look, Trent I would have on Wildcard because I'm building a squad here that actually allows for rotation. It helps us in the blanks if you just fill it with good players. So a Wildcard wouldn't have dead spots. And when you make your team for the first half of the season, you go with a dead spot. You go with a 4.3 Mabama or a 4.4 Cameron Archer, someone that you know will rarely play for you. Always third bench. The second half of the season, the second wildcard, you need a good squad. So like Mohamed's just activated wildcard 2. Don't worry, Mohamed. You can still put a very good team together. So therefore, I'd be benching Trent this week. Don't have a problem with that at all. Possibly even benching Haaland this week. So let's talk about the midfield. We've got Odegaard. Like that very much. My friend Ed, with his wildcard team, will be joining very soon as well, by the way. Sorry, I've just got a message to see if I wanted to play football this weekend. I'm tempted. Afternoon. Hey, afternoon to Daniel as well. Daniel's team, Turner, Gabriel, Porro, Foden, Richarlison, Jota captain. Yeah, I mean, that's a good team, Daniel. Like, I can't... Yeah, Jota captain... I mean, look in the poll. 9% have said they'll captain a Liverpool attacker, Darwin or Jota. But there's a lot that won't own a Liverpool attacker. It is worth noting. So do vote in the captaincy poll. Thanks, Daniel. But I like your team. Are there any changes you can make? 7.2 in the bank. I mean, it's a ton of money. Personally, I like Estupiñán this week. You could bench Porro and buy Estupiñán. Don't know who defender 4 is. Yeah, you got Zinchenko. Zinchenko's all right for the time being, but he's always injured. I do worry about Zinchenko. Afternoon to Ibrahim as well. I'd roll if you can, Daniel, and then look at Haaland next week. Thoughts on Jota after yesterday's match? He assisted the assist, but he looked really good. He also got 90 under his belt. Darwin would have started yesterday. Klopp has said this. Klopp has said Darwin would have started yesterday if he didn't have cramp. He had cramp the game before because he played 90. He's not used to it, is he? Your take on Taylor? Well, look, I looked through all the press conference, all the social media posts of Burnley, and there was very little to go off yesterday. They did post a reel of training yesterday. There weren't many players featured with their faces recognizable, a lot of feet and legs. And I don't know what boots Taylor wears, but again, they're probably pretty generic. Couldn't see Taylor in it. We will get a press conference today, though, from company. So before bed tonight, we should have an update on Taylor. Because I might be selling Son tonight for gross if Taylor's out, because I'm not going to get 11 otherwise, and I've got a free transfer. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So look, midfielders. I like Odegaard. This draft does not have Saka. This is my wildcard team. We'll see Ed's shortly. Odegaard over Saka for me. You save money. You save money as well, but you will notice. Oh, you won't notice because I've got a little logo, haven't I? There we go. Taking that logo off in the top right. 2.9 in the bank. I've got loads of money in the bank here, and that's because I'm leaving money in the bank to bring Salah back, right? And I'll explain that in a sec. So Odegaard, Jota. Jota's brilliant. I think him and Darwin in Salah's absence will be good. Without Trent and Endo in the team, maybe the team suffers a tad, but they'll still score goals. They're one of the inform attack in the league right now, Liverpool. Foden and Palmer, I've spoken about to death. Richarlison is vulnerable. Richarlison is very vulnerable with Werner addition. I don't think the Werner addition spoils Richarlison until Son is back. And when Son is back, you could see games where it's a front 3 of Kulusevski on the right, Maddison in the 10. Those 2 slots are nailed. And then there's 2 slots remaining, the left-hand side and the centre forward. Left-hand side will be Son and Richarlison number 9, or Werner number 9, or it will be Werner or Richarlison on the left and Son number 9. So there's 3 players there, and 4 if you include Brennan Johnson, who's been playing really good football, for 2 spots. But actually, it's not for 2 spots, is it? Because Son's in. So Son, Kulu, Maddison start. That's 3 of the front 4. The 4th place is Richarlison, it's Werner, or it's Brennan. I wouldn't be buying Richarlison in a transfer because he'll be an immediate sell when Asia Cup and Son returns. But I would buy Richarlison when you start afresh on a wild card now because he's good for a few weeks. But that Richarlison spot would become Mo Salah. I've got money in the bank, not enough to get to Salah, but I could downgrade an Odegaard, a Jota, or a Foden to a lower price midfielder, Pascal Gross, Garnacho, whatever. And then Richarlison to Salah in 2 moves. So a little bit of money in the bank helps me there. So that's my midfield. Let me know if you like that midfield, guys. I'll tell you what, let's play a game. From the midfield 5, who is the player you would not have on wildcard? Who would I omit from this wildcard team? Hit me with some names in the chat. I think loads of you are going to say one of 2 names. Let's have a look. And then we'll talk about the... we'll talk about forwards and we'll talk about captaincy. Watkins, I've actually got enough money for Watkins. I could have Watkins instead of João Pedro. I could have Watkins instead of Solanke. But I like the idea of having money. We'll talk about the forwards in a minute. So who are the midfielders? Which is the midfielder you wouldn't have? Nathan wouldn't have Jota. Bailey wouldn't have Odegaard. A few of you are saying Jota. Gareth says maybe not Richarlison. Yeah, Mike was saying Jota. A lot saying Jota, which is really interesting. I thought you were all going to say Richarlison or Odegaard. We'll talk about my game week captain in just a second, guys. And we'll talk about my team in just a second as well. I'm going to make sure when Ed joins after that, I'm going to be able to show you what my actual team looks like. And I have done a team selection video on this channel that you can go and check out. Yeah, Richarlison's got a few. Yeah, Odegaard. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And Ryan agrees. I was like, Odegaard hasn't been playing great. He's been playing better than Saka, but Arsenal attack hasn't been clicking. But the underlyings are there for Arsenal. Also, guys, if you like narrative, right? If you like to spin narrative to suit your agenda, and every FPL manager does it, let's be honest, then Arsenal have had a week, or are having currently a week in Dubai. Fly Emirates on their shirt, Dubai. Yeah, I'm sure they're paying for it. It allows rest, recuperation, winter sun. I think Arsenal could come back having clicked a little bit into gear, and maybe the break. Certainly Saka feels like he needed a break. So, yeah, Foden never does it. What has the man got to do? He's been smashing it of late. So, yeah, I think Arsenal could surprise a few against Palace, which is why I guess I'm favouring Saka for captaincy. But I'll talk about that in a sec. Haaland, Solanke, João Pedro. Yeah, Ivan Toney. Matthew, please stay tuned because at hour, which is in 7 minutes, I've been promised by Ed that he's joining us to show us his wildcard team. And I know his wildcard team not only features the guy that you're referring to, Ivan Toney, but he also has him captain. So we'll save the Toney chat for Ed. Bin Odegaard, thoughts on Toney. So yeah, Ed will be joining soon, guys. Look, if I was on wildcard, you of course bring Haaland in. Even if you bench him this week, you bring him in. Haaland's training with the team. I think he'll get 30 minutes. Solanke, I think at his price point, for phenomenal value. He blanked last time out, and if he didn't blank against Spurs, he'd have gone up in price again a couple of times this week. He's seen big price growth already. I like Solanke. He also has a double game week around the corner, right? That I say around the corner. The double between Bournemouth and Luton will come in at some point. We don't know when. And it's easier to reschedule that because there's no European football for Bournemouth and Luton. But Solanke will have a double, or a couple of doubles, probably. So I like Solanke. 9 shots. 9 shots against Spurs. Hit the woodwork. 1 almost cleared off the line. He's been unlucky in the last week. He's also on pens, right? João Pedro. Wow. Guys, you need a Brighton player. If you're wildcarding, you need a Brighton player. I've got two. They're top of the ticker. They also don't have European football for a while. Like Brighton, you fear for João Pedro rotation if you're playing him in November. If you're playing him in January or February, you're fine because there's no two fixtures in a week like there is when there's the Europa League. Now, the Europa League starts back up mid-Feb, but not for Brighton. 7th of March for Brighton because they finished top of their group. The way the Europa League's staged, there's a round now before Brighton join it. So Brighton are through to the next round. So when they group. So 7th of March, which I think is game week 28, 29. So until 28, 29, you got the next 7, 8 game weeks. Not worrying about Brighton rotation, in my opinion. You're not worrying about Estupiñán or João Pedro anyway. Maybe, Buonanotte and Moda, you're going to worry about rotation. Not with João Pedro and Estupiñán. Playing on the left now, possibly central. Check out the average position map from the last game. He was central, but fairly deep. He was dropping short to get on the ball against Stoke, but he scored 2 goals and he's on pens. Yeah, don't worry about Pep Roulette on Foden this season, mate. You're good. Bukuratail. Guys, loads of you are watching on demand, so thank you all for tuning into this video. I've tried to keep it more structured than some of my lives where I'm constantly doing Q&A. If you want more chaotic lives, then tomorrow's deadline stream, which will be only Q&A with all of you lot at 4:15, then make sure you come and play. Afternoon, a mad captaining Gusto over Parma. Jesus, Fahy. Yes, you are. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on. I did so look, M. Fahy in Ireland is in my WhatsApp group. He's an Ultras member. You'll see the little emoji by his name. Ultras members get in the WhatsApp. I did a captaincy poll and I did 4 or 5 options, didn't I, this morning? I don't know who you voted for. I did all the same as the poll we can see here in the chat. I didn't list Gusto as an option, mate. I'm sorry. If you want to go to a Chelsea player, go Palmer. Gusto actually went off injured. I think he'll be fine, but he went off injured in 89 minutes. Should I sell Zinchenko for Estupiñán for a hit? Not for a hit. Am I crazy? I'm going to captain Porro. He'd probably be my 15th best choice of captain this week, 20th. I personally wouldn't captain Porro. When we look at the spread betting and the chances of a clean sheet for Tottenham, the bookies see it as a 15% chance. Very few teams have lower, but they do think Spurs will score 1.6 goals. They think United will win the game. If they score 1.6 goals, is there a chance 2 goals, Porro's involved? A chance, but I don't know about captaincy. You voted Palmer in that poll. Thanks, Ryan. Another one on the WhatsApp group. I'm feeling a Gusto clean sheet and an assist. Look, mate, if you feel that, you go for it. You've got a very rogue, punty way of playing that can suit. So why not? Porro's only in for attacking returns. Of course, Porro's in for attacking returns. We know that. But he's not expected to get a ton of attacking returns against Fulham. Like Fulham were good last night, weren't they? What did you guys think of Fulham? I think they surprised a few. Good evening, FPL Chai. We've just been talking about the team in the WhatsApp group, which includes Ryan and M. Fahy, who wants to captain Gusto. Can someone talk this man out of it? Daniel's in the house as well. But FPL Chai, thank you for joining, mate. You've missed a good half an hour, but you're about to get a much better half an hour because Ed, the general manager of Fantasy Football Scout and one of my best mates, is joining. I'm going to text him now. Are you coming? He's going to show us his wildcard team. He's also the funniest bloke I know. You know Ed's brother, right? Ed's brother is an actor. You'll know him. And people always mistake Ed for him because they look and sound the same. Ed's brother did the infamous Stag Do video. It went viral. It got tens of millions of views. If you Google Stag Do or YouTube Stag Do video, it's his brother. Yeah, sound just the same. And his brother's come to Fest, Fantasy Football Fest, which me and Ed run together. So yeah, cool. Aaron says, apologies for disturbing you with Jota. That's all right, mate. Who do you think scores more, Foden or Jota? This week, Foden, but I like them both. I like them both this week. Ed will be in the house soon, and you want to see his wildcard team. He's obviously gone quite punty. Mine's a bit safer, I think we could say. I don't have Watkins, and I've got 2.9 in the bank. So that would be Richarlison to Salah, and I would downgrade Odegaard or perhaps even Jota when Salah returns. Pedro, Watkins, Alvarez, front three, says Asim. Yeah, maybe. Don't hate it. Hello from Japan. I never have viewers from Japan. I just had a whole load. When I asked you all half an hour ago to say where in the world you're watching, loads of you said Africa. Like I had Uganda, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt. Yeah, very rarely have Japan, if ever. We had Maldives. That's Africa, I think, counts as Africa. Darwin for captain. I must admit, I'm tempted. Guys, do you want to let me know in the world where you're watching from? Give me a name. Give me a country. Where in the world are you watching from? Oh, look who's here. Come on. Edward in the house. Hello, Edward.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
I think I can hear you. I need to put my headset on, but I think you're working. It's just me that it's me, not you. It's me, not you.
Oh, right. Okay, it's as usual.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Why have I been invited onto this?
Because you're one of my best mates, and because you've wildcarded, and because you run Fantasy Football Scout.
That's 12. There you go. Fantasy Football Scout, everyone.
On brand. There we go. I was actually just showing some scout data a minute ago of XGI per 90, which is a really interesting metric to consider. Yeah.
Very good. All those stats just confused me. So yeah, I just copy the scout picks every week basically. So I'm very, very low level sort of investor in that.
How does that work? How does the scout picks work? That's a panel of a few of the scout team, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Each week, if you go on the homepage on the right, there's like a scout picks ideal team for the week based on a number of things.
Yeah, but who makes those 11 choices or 15 choices?
I think it's like a committee. Neil, our editor, is very good at FPL. Tom, a few others who've got very good. Not me, by the way. Yeah. I suppose that's the point you're making.
Excluded.
Not me. Do not worry. Hello, FPL Chai. Hello, FPL Down Under. Hello, Stephen. Thanks for the welcome.
Well, no,
what are we talking about? Are we going to show my wild card?
We are. We've got 25 minutes with you. We're going to show you wild card. Guys, we're also just going to shout out a few people. This is the first time I've ever had a viewer watching live in Japan. So hello, peace, but we've got Malaysia, Ghana, Macedonia, Birmingham, Malaysia, Australia. I'm flashing them up on screen. Greece, loads of cool countries, Tunisia. I hope you're all going to enjoy the AFCON, by the way. I've seen Scout aren't doing, or probably are doing some, but Fantasy Football Community are doing quite a lot of AFCON coverage as well for the AFCON fantasy game, which looks really cool. I'm tempted to play.
Correct. And the Asian Cup they're doing as well, because there's quite a slick Asian, what's it called? The Asian Cup?
Asian Cup, yeah.
Yeah, there's a slick app fantasy game they've got. So look at that as well.
That's interesting. I just would really struggle with
how many fantasy games is too many fantasy games, Gianni? I can only concentrate on about 2-3 max.
Let us know in the chat how many fantasy games you play. I'm guessing we know you all play FPL. I'm guessing some will play Sky as well, and some will play the Champions League game.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that. It does a little thumbs up when I do that.
Yeah, your MacBook's better than mine.
Oh yeah.
Which is ironic because I paid for yours.
Yeah. The nonsense this fella comes out with is ridiculous. He lives in his own world in his head. I play Champions League and I play Premier League, and that's it.
And Serie A.
And Serie A, yeah. And I'm beating you at Serie A.
I don't think you are. Right? I think in like game week 7.
You just don't want to admit it in front of everyone.
I think one match day you beat me, and you've kept that narrative for 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much, probably.
I missed the deadline the other day, and I'm a bit of a casual. When it comes to Serie A, yeah. Speaking of casuals, shall we have a look at your wild card, mate?
Sure, let's go for it.
All right, let me just figure out the best setup. Here we go. Look, I can do that. Oh, that's
how are you even doing this, Gianni? You are the worst person with tech in the world. How do you do this?
StreamYard is so easy. I can just look at this. I can do things on the bottom. I'm going to put a little picture of my face, which I think, Ed, you designed this logo in the top right. Look at that.
I did. By the way, that's not my team.
No, that's my wildcard draft. We've spoken about that in detail, but just to update you, I've dropped.
You're not wildcarding though.
No,
you're not wildcarding.
No, but this draft doesn't include Watkins. It includes Haaland and Trent, right? So Trent would be benched. Haaland might be benched this week. But yeah, it's similar shape to yours, to be fair. I've gone Odegaard, not Saka. I've dropped Watkins. I've left 2.9 in the bank to go Richarlison up to Salah and just downgrade an Odegaard or a Jota when Salah's back.
And you're just keeping Trent and benching him.
Keeping Trent and benching him. Yeah. Which is a consideration for you.
Yeah, but I've had Trent since like game week 2, so I've got the goods from him. Tony, is Tony going to play?
We've had loads of comments about Tony. There's a few in the chat that have said they might even be captaining Tony. What are my thoughts on that?
He's my captain currently, yeah.
I said, let's wait till Ed gets here. M. Fahy, who's one of my WhatsApp members, says, I'm giving Tony a game first before considering. A bit more reserved from M. Fahy, who isn't a reserved type of manager.
One of your WhatsApp members, are you charging people to contact you now? Is that what happens?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, charging people to be a member, which gets them loads of cool things, including extra videos on YouTube, WhatsApp chat. And in the WhatsApp chat, we've got Ali Yahangarov, won FPL last year. Me, hopefully that's pretty cool. And FPL Chai. So we got 2 elite managers and me. And then actually, Ryan, I think, is second or third. Ivan's second. I think Ryan's fourth. So Ryan's, I think, top 2K. So yeah, we got some good managers in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
If you want to join, just hit the join button below this video. If you're on mobile, I think you've got to do it on laptop for it to work. But you can figure it out on YouTube. You can be.
What you mean? I could click that on YouTube. Oh no, I'm in StreamYard, but on YouTube it would work with it.
Yes. Yeah. Join, and then you pay per month. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And when pretty much, Ed, you'll see the emoji by people's names. So RTJ, see, he's got a little emoji there. That means he's a channel member. Danny the same.
Okay.
And anytime I see a channel member with a comment, I obviously bring it up and talk about it. Yet you lot that like Will, don't care about what Will or Tyler's saying. No. Jeremy, no, you're not a channel member. But M. Fahy, let's address your question. It's not necessarily like that, but you get the drift.
What do you get for the eye-watering $12.99 a month? What do you get extra?
Well,
do you get to,
that's the big one. That's the WhatsApp group.
Come around your house every Sunday for lunch or something?
That's the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Okay. So that's videos of me with Gaia feeding her in the morning or walking the dog, or it's
I block those.
and voice notes galore. All right, let's have a look at before we see your team.
Can I predict what the voice notes sound like? The voice notes are, "Hi guys, I'm just out walking my dog, and it's just interesting, isn't it?" Yeah, and then he just like rambles on about something, and it makes you feel like you're friends with him. He doesn't care about you.
No, they are friends with me, and there's only a small handful. And you know what, Ed? I'm keeping it to a small group. Like if I had 50 people who joined today, I'd be like, no, I'm not taking that. I want 20.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's out of hand. We've got a mini league too. Right. Before we see your team, any of these players on there? Because these XG per 90 stats. First, look at the company Estupinan is in. He's putting up the same number as Trent this season.
Yeah, very good. It's interesting. Trippier's ahead of Trent as well, and everyone bangs on about Trent, but it's above. It's above. I have in my wildcard draft Estupinian, and I have Porro, and I've had Trent for ages. Why is James in there? Don't get James. Annoys me. Just was the worst asset ever. You get him and he just gets injured, and even when he plays, he's not even that good. Like he's just legs are like ruined now. He's like watching a 35-year-old play. Anyway.
He's just not built. Do you know what Reece James's problem is? Reece James has got the wrong body shape for football. Yeah. He's too muscular and he gets injured.
Same as me.
Okay, let's see your wildcard team.
Right, here we go. Yeah, look, I think that's all right. I did it in about 5 minutes, but I got Raya in goal because I saw FPL General had him. Gusto in defence because Praz told me to get him. Saliba and Porro because that kind of made sense. Jota because Salah's not there. Saka because it's Saka and he ticks along. Foden, I might get rid of Foden. I know. Are
you scared of Saka's ownership? Because why don't you go Odegaard? You save money if you go Odegaard, and he's playing much better than Saka.
It's just pens, isn't it? Saka's got more points than him, isn't he?
Odegaard's taken as many pens as Saka, I think. Saka often passes the ball to Havertz or Odegaard to take them.
Maybe.
Foden, I think you're scared of the ownership there, aren't you?
I don't even look at ownership. I just thought he was on penalties.
He's the highest owned player in the game somehow, Saka.
Oh, I'll get rid of him then. That's boring. I'll put like Lewis Miley in or something. And then there's Foden there who annoys me because you've got him and you bang on about him. So that makes me not want him. So I might get rid of him. Palmer is kind of on penalties for Chelsea and he's so cheap. But why wouldn't you have him? Watkins, Tony captain because he's going to be such a big differential. That'd be great fun. And then I kind of thought, just keep Haaland. Otherwise, I'm just using my transfer next week to get him back.
Yeah, okay. When you look at the Fantasy Football Scout ticker all the way through, I filled it the other day and it's on the team selection video to game week 29. And you go difficulty rating. Brighton are top of the ticker by a country mile. Brighton's fixtures between now and 29 are amazing, right? Palaces are also really good. But Brighton are a team that always feel like they can score 2 goals. You don't have a Brighton attacker. João Pedro's on pens. Without Matoma and Adingra, like João Pedro's nailed for the next couple of months because they don't start playing in Europe till the 7th of March. Like, are you not tempted on João Pedro or Pascal Gross or?
Gross was in my draft before this. I might go João Pedro instead of Watkins or something. Have you dropped Watkins? Why have you dropped Watkins?
Yeah, in my draft, I dropped Watkins to João Pedro just because I think over the next few weeks, I think I'd go clean slate. Like on my normal team, I've got Watkins, and I don't know if I'd use a transfer on it. But in a wild card, you get to do things a little differently. So also allows for more money because you need a plan to get Salah back in. So if Watkins was João Pedro, it's much easier upgrading one of those midfielders to Mo Salah.
Yeah, I've got like 1.8 million in the bank, but you're right. I need a bit more, and I need like 3.5 million to upgrade Saka or something. So, or Jota, I'll need like 4 or 5 million. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay, Watkins is probably out, or I could just Tony. I really like Tony. I really like Tony.
And if you're going to captain him, you can't consider selling him. Are you confident he gets? I mean, he played for the under-23s and got a hat-trick the other day. So, and he's been training for under-23s.
What a stupid thing these content creators. But he played for the under-23s and scored a hat-trick. Therefore, he's going to score a hat-trick. Under-23s. He played against a bunch of players who can't get in, or even on the bench for their teams. I think if he plays, I'll captain him because he wants to move this January, doesn't he? He's going to want to prove people that he's back. He wants to go to Arsenal or something. Yeah. So
he's been playing for a move for 6 months. Like he's been talking about moves. Like, but
Alex Mason says, go on.
He owes Brentford, and he's standing a bit like he's been training with them. Their PR was good around the incident. Like, I think he moves in the summer, and I think he puts in a hell of a shift for the next few months, and it earns him that move to Arsenal, or that big money move.
Well, why is he not on your team then? Because you don't know he's going to start.
No, I don't. I mean, they're short, right? So they don't have Visser and they don't have Mbermo at the moment. Visser AFCON, but Mbermo's injured. So
he's definitely going to play then.
He's going to start, but I think he gets sick. I don't know if he's match fit. So again, we don't know if he's match fit.
Well, do you know he scored a hat-trick against the under... He scored a hat-trick against the under-23s the other day. So
yeah. So it's an interesting one there. Let's see what Daniel says. He says strong. I'm bringing Daniel's comment up because he's a channel member. Daniel says,
Will Shaw's not happy with you, by the way. Look at the latest comment.
Oh,
did you call me out then say you don't care because I'm not a member? Feels bad, G.
Oh, Will,
this is a guy who feels like he knows you so well he calls you G, and you're just dismissing him like that.
You know it was a joke. I mean, I thought I said it quite flippantly. No, it's humour, Will. But I'm sorry if I've offended you, Will. You don't have to be a channel member. I'll still touch on your comments. But why the hell are you not supporting me on a monthly basis, Daniel?
Good question.
Tony against Forest. You like it, Ed? Is that because it's Forest or Tony?
Well, both. He's back. He's playing at home against Forest, and it's a tricky week because there's no Salah, Son, Haaland. So why not? Why not use this week to go mental?
Yeah. Manan says, thinks Tony's a great pick. Yeah. He scored a hat-trick against the under-23s, yeah. I can hear Neville Southall saying, well done, he's 13.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Oh, thanks. Oh, that's Rev.
Yeah, I know. Alex, hi, Rev. Balkan Mag says, Ed, are we going to beat City on Saturday? No, it'll be a 1-1 draw. Alex Mason says, Richarlison has to go. Why? Why would I get rid of Richarlison? Isn't Son off and Richarlison's been really good? Werner's in now, isn't he? Interesting. Richarlison's not going to get dropped.
He's going to get dropped as soon as Son's back from Asia Cup because, there's look at the front four, right? 4 attacking spots at Spurs when all are fit. Maddison, tick. Kulusevski, tick. And Son, tick. Those 3 will always start. So then there's 1 spot for Brennan, Richarlison, or Werner.
Interesting. A convincing case you've made. Okay, I'll get rid of him.
I forgot to post. What an idiot I am. I wrote a tweet, right? I thought it was a bit slow. I was for the first 10 minutes. I wrote a tweet before I came on, going like, Ed's coming on, wildcard draft. Here's the cool looking thumbnail. I've just seen it in my drafts. I've been chatting for 45 minutes without the FPL Twitter gang. Did you retweet that or tweet out that you were joining?
No, I forgot it until 1 minute before where you said.
Well, I've just tagged you, so feel free to retweet.
Gosh, got all your fanboys on me, calling me names.
Solomon is back soon too. Yeah, there's other options like Perisic. I don't think he's out for a long time, but yeah.
Alex says also, Gianni mentioned before you came on that you're the Casey Affleck to your brother's Ben. That's all right. Casey Affleck's the better actor, so he won an Oscar, didn't he? Didn't he win an Oscar for that Manchester by the Sea or something?
Oh,
wasn't that Casey Affleck?
I like that Manchester by the Sea. That's the one with the lighthouse.
I haven't seen it. I got confused. I thought it was some sort of film about the Derby or something.
I think it's Manchester. I think it's like, I don't know, west coast of Canada or USA, I think. Not Manchester.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. He was nominated, Alex says. All right, well, yeah, I don't know. That's fine. That's fine.
Ben, I don't think Ben's been nominated for too many.
No.
To be fair.
Although, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, can you bring my wildcard back up? Because I just want to deal with this right now because I haven't got long. I need to go in 10 minutes.
Yeah, come on. Let's have a look.
Right, so are we Augusto? Proud somebody to put him in, so I did. That's all right. He's nailed, is he?
Yeah, nailed if he's fit. He did go off injured, but he should be fine. Like Pocher said, he's fine.
Okay.
Gusto's
good. You said Gabriel over Saliba potentially, didn't you?
I can't believe you're benching Porro to start. You're benching a Stupinan to start Porro. I'd definitely have a Stupinan above Porro this week. Porro's got a 15% chance of a clean sheet.
Yeah, Porro's got a 15% chance of a clean sheet. Look, this is. I think. That wasn't the final thing. I'll twiddle it around.
Clean sheet odds on the right-hand side. Tottenham 15%. They think they'll score 1.6 goals. The bookies. This is according to Rob T FPL.
Very strange game then.
Let's have a look at Tony. Goals. So look, Brentford at home to Forest. They think they'll score 1.65 goals. There you go. And Forest will score 1.1. So there you go. They think Brentford will win the game at least.
Right. So they're saying that City will beat Newcastle 2-1. All right.
Yeah,
probably right.
Which is fair. I think it'll be more like 3-0 to be fair, but you know.
Yeah. Well, Newcastle at home. Do you know our record at home? We've won 7 out of the last 8 games at home in the league.
Okay.
We've only lost to Forest at home because Chris Wood turned into Ronaldo.
Forest scored 3, didn't they? Was that the Wood hat trick? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only game we've lost since 8 in the league.
But Newcastle defensively, Ed, talk to me about Newcastle defensively because there's a lot out there that will consider captaining Alvarez or Foden this week. I'm certainly one of them. Do you go there? Or do you just go, no, Newcastle at home defensively, now Sharon Botman are fit. But Sharon Botman and Trippier, Trips has been out because of personal reasons, but Sharon Botman have been back in the team for a while. And you are the leakiest defence in the league by a country mile at the minute. That's a fact.
Yes, we've had some tricky games. That's true. We've been absolutely shattered. The whole way we play is about the press, and that's how we finished 4th last season. We haven't been able to do it properly. Against Forest, we fell apart. Every single pass was just into a sea of space, and it was like 3 on 2 every time. We need like a sitting midfielder, and we didn't seem to have one that game. I don't know what happened that game. But once again, I'll reiterate. First of all, we beat Sunderland 3-0 the other day, which is going to be really good for motivation and everything. We've had a good rest, and at home we're still elite. We have the best home form apart from Villa in the league, I think, in the last 8, and we're at home.
You haven't retweeted.
I'm not even on Twitter. For goodness sake, you're so needy.
On your phone. Are we seeing each other in London next week? Is that happening Wednesday?
Yes, probably. No, yeah, I spoke to Mark.
No, Thursday. I think we said Thursday, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think Mark can do Wednesday or something, or I think I can do Wednesday. Oh, we'll work it out. Yeah, I think we can see each other. That'll be lovely. Go for a little dinner. Yeah. What we're doing? You want me to retweet something? I'm about to leave though. I'm going to leave in 7 minutes. That's fine. They'll come and see me. Right? Yeah.
Ed, people don't get the luxury of seeing you on YouTube, so your followers might actually click that link. They don't because they see me tweet out links to come to YouTube every day. So
we see you too much, mate. Yeah, exactly. Good point.
But with you, it's Ed. I remember him. Didn't him and Gianni used to have their own YouTube show? Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Remember that.
So actually, this channel. Why do you think I started with 900 followers?
1,100 followers actually.
Oh, sorry. No, I think by the time I'd logged in, they were just bots, and it was actually 900.
Probably the bots I paid for.
So big dilemmas on your wild card. Players you're not 100% on. Watkins.
It's literally just, should I have Tony? Should I have João Pedro?
Yeah.
And then apparently I need to get rid of Richarlison. I think that's
Mate,
it.
if you didn't have Watkins and a João Pedro, you've got enough to upgrade one of your defenders to Trent and just save yourself a transfer.
How long's Trent out for? 2 weeks?
Well, 3, but they think he's trying to be back for game week 22. Chelsea, that's what Liverpool said. He's aiming for 22. I've sold Trent, by the way, in my actual team. Just throwing that one out there. But
I've done well with Trent. I got him before he was cool again. You know, he's kind of suddenly became cool again. I already had him, which actually just meant that I was spending loads of money on the defender who wasn't doing anything. But hey ho.
Yeah, you were what's known as an early adopter.
I was an early adopter, yes.
If you don't captain Tony this week, let's have a bit of a captaincy discussion. Who do you captain? Oh, no Joe Linton, says Balkan. Why not?
I absolutely love Joe Linton. Well, it will be Saka.
No doubt for you. If it's not Tony, it's Saka. You like that?
Well, I always like home games. I always like captaining in home games.
Me too.
And who else? Palmer. I mean,
Palmer or Foden?
Palmer's been good, but no, not Foden. Against Newcastle away.
All right, Jota.
No, away against Bournemouth. Bournemouth can put in really well recently.
Bournemouth are decent. Like I'm a fan of Bournemouth. We'll come back to it.
And even Watkins, I wouldn't do Watkins either because Everton are decent, and at home I fancy Everton to win that. So there you go.
So your captaincy in order, your top 3. Give me your top 3 from bottom up.
At the moment, but I need to look at this more. Tony, Saka, Palmer.
That's top down.
Yeah, all right. Do you want me to just say the same thing and the other way around? Okay, Palmer, Saka, Tony.
I love the way to think about that. Thanks, Ed, for indulging me.
Doing the alphabet backwards.
My top 3, and I don't own perhaps as many good captaincy options because I'm not on Wildcard. My top 3 are Foden number 3, Darwin at number 2, both away with tough fixtures.
Darwin.
And at number 1, Jota. I have Palmer not in my top 3, and I'm a Chelsea fan. I wouldn't go there. And we've done a poll, Ed.
Chelsea are rubbish.
43% of the poll, 246 votes, live in the chat right now. 43% of you have voted Palmer. Palmer is going to be captained by the majority, it seems. I'm surprised at that.
Just because he scored 2 goals in the last game?
Fulham, yeah, but I mean, he blanked against Middlesbrough.
Yeah. I think I'd rather captain Palmer than Darwin. Darwin is honestly, you know how some like academics, they study something so much and look into all the data that they come out with a ridiculous conclusion that lacks any common sense, but they go, oh yeah, but this is exactly this. The only people who captain Darwin and even have Darwin in their team are people who've got so into their stats that you can't see like real life of Darwin chance after chance after chance just being missed. Yeah, let's captain someone who misses loads of chances.
But I don't like stats and data much. You know that. I'm an eye test manager.
Yeah, well, you're just an idiot
Darwin's then. Great. If you'd seen Darwin last night, mate, can I get one of those mugs? They're brilliant.
Oh, they're great. They've got a little lid as well. Keeps it warm.
Are they for sale?
You know. No, they're not.
But there is a Scout store, right? You can go and buy Scout merch.
Fantasyfootballmerch.co.uk. Go and have a look. I think it's okay. Yeah.
Darwin is chaos. Absolutely, Freddie. Couldn't hit a barn door, says Daniel. Yes, fair. Yeah. Last night, he was good. He got 2 assists. He would have got 10 FPL points last night because he would have got 3
It's always, as well. Yeah, but it's always woulda, shoulda, coulda with him. It's like, oh, he would have done this. He would have done that. But he doesn't. Only against Newcastle this season, suddenly comes on and scores 2 incredible goals.
He was
off the
brilliant
bench.
Against Newcastle.
And then, he just became the best player in the world, but then just gone, hey, mate, do you think I should sell Nkunku? Eddie, you must have only just gotten Nkunku. He came back about a week ago. You're already selling him. Yeah, what's that
injured.
About?
He's injured.
Again, is he?
Yeah, he is. No, he's out.
He's another one. He's another one. He's just like Reece James. Why are Chelsea buying these players? I know Reece James didn't buy, but just get yourself a reliable guy who you'd like your daughter to bring home. Someone like Joe Linton, and just stick with them.
I mean,
ignore the rumours about the Newcastle players.
Yeah, he gets minutes, Joe Linton. And Nkunku, Chelsea agreed to buy Nkunku. It was public knowledge a year ago, right? When he was still a Leipzig player and injured. It was like, we agreed to buy someone that clearly couldn't pass a medical and he was out long-term. He joined Chelsea off the back of a long-term injury, played pre-season and got injured. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Are Chelsea going to be are going to be buying anyone this January again? Do you think, or not?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Out of money, out of FFP.
We've got to be really careful. Only if we set. I mean, if that's why there's been talk of Chelsea selling Gallagher, because it works in your favour with financial fair play if you sell academy prospects, which is why they would be open to offers for one of their best players this season, Gallagher, because it costs them nothing, so it looks good on the books. It's all profit when you sell it.
I'd take Gallagher. Gallagher's a perfect Howe player.
Gallagher is a perfect Howe player. Yeah. But Poch doesn't want him to go. And Maatsen, the left back, has gone to Dortmund with an option to buy, I think. So again, that could help us. Timo Werner has gone to Spurs with an option to buy for 15 million, I think it is. It's around 15.
Gianni, I'll be honest. I don't know how he's done back in Germany. Has he been good?
He can't get a game. Can't get a game for Leipzig. That's why they're loaning him out. They bought him from Chelsea for like 25, 30 million. We paid 52 for him, I think. But Leipzig don't want him. And he needs to get in the Germany squad for the Euros, so he needs football.
So how does that work? They spend 25 million. He walks through the door and they just go, "Oh, sorry, we didn't really."
Manager didn't like you. Yeah, giving him 6 months, can't get a game, loan him out. It's a bit like Sancho. I mean, United have loaned Sancho out. They spent 80 on him, didn't they? 80 plus.
That's ridiculous. I can't stand Man United. And to be honest, I can't stand Chelsea at the moment. It's just grotesque. Because Newcastle are the richest club in the world and we can't even spend any money just because it's FFP.
Yeah, well, you don't generate it, mate. You're a small club.
I know. Exactly, right? And this is why FFP has got it wrong. Because back in the day, Chelsea could just grow and grow and grow, City grow and grow and grow and grow, and then they lock it in and go, anyone else who wants to come in now has got to do it really slowly, really slowly, really slowly. It actually protects the big clubs. Pathetic. It's anti-competitive.
That's why you're not buying a new... Is Dubravka... If you're on Wildcard, I've got Dubravka in my Wildcard team. Dubravka's good, right?
We're not buying a keeper.
Because it'd be hard to buy a keeper because you can't buy number one because Nick Pope's still a thing and he'll be back fit. And there's not many who's better than Dubravka.
No, he's a very good player.
I like him. Yeah.
In goalkeeper was the last position on my mind when we got taken over. I thought, all right, Dubravka's fine. We don't think about that. And then we signed Pope. Great. Pope is better. But Dubravka's a Premier League keeper. He could go to another Premier League club and he'd be fun.
Thanks, Rev. I'm glad you noticed. I was hoping Ed would bite back, but he was clearly worried about time. We've only got a few minutes left. But yeah, Newcastle clearly aren't a small club.
I don't get into the argument of big club, small club. It's so ridiculous. Oh, we've won 14 league titles, and the last one was in 1952, whereas we've won one in 1956. It's stupid. We've got 52,000 seats. We've got 48. It's just stupid. It means nothing. You're never going to agree. Stop talking about it, you idiots.
Why do these fans both sound like Alan Partridge?
In my head, it is Alan Partridge, yeah.
Gross Captain says Heather. Yeah, I don't hate it, but probably not one for me. But Gross is a good buy this week. Someone said they need more Ed in their life. What does DGAF mean? I'm terrible.
Don't give a.
Oh, nice. You're more street than I am, Ed. Who'd have thought it?
I know. Don't give a fridge.
Chai's in the chat. What does he always say? I've told him this on DM. He always says, I think dead. Like I'm like, Chai, do you want to join my stream? And he'll message back going, yeah, it's deadly. Yeah. And he means yes. It's like
deadly, bro.
Deadly. It's deadly.
Mm.
But that's a thing. That's an Irish thing, I think. Deadly.
Oh.
It's deadly.
Cool.
Maybe Ed can come back on the show at one point. Yeah, now I'm going to flog you to death, mate.
Look,
Chai's had his time. I've had Chai. He's been there, done it. Now Ed. Next week it will be Ali. You know, I'm going through him every week. My new best friend every week. No, Chai. Seriously, if you ever want to jump on, then please do. Yeah.
I get basically dragged in when Gianni doesn't have anyone else who said yes. Everyone else said no. He wants a guest. He messages me. Just says, just click this because I do no prep and I literally just come on and say whatever the heck I want and leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually have a guest on this channel because that's not it's not like that. But when I do have a guest, yeah, you're one of the people I want on, absolutely. And FPL Chai, who's starting a new hashtag, Bring Back Ed, is another. Guys, if you've enjoyed this stream, then show your appreciation for Ed. Ed would really like it if you hit the subscribe button and the like button. He would love it if you hit that notification button as well.
Do you know I founded this YouTube channel technically? So yeah, go for it.
I mean, you still got the password.
Right. Do you know what happens? Every time Gianni wants to do something and he's logged himself out, he has to click a button and it pings on my phone and I get these 3 numbers And Gianni has to tell me 39, click 39, quick, within a minute. And I'm busy and I have to do that just to get him in to his own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm in Mallorca. I need to log into YouTube.
Yeah. You're in India. He messaged me at 4 a.m. once because he was in India.
Thanks, Ed. Guys, if you want to be like Ed and join the WhatsApp group, and you can become an ultra.
I'm not in this WhatsApp group, and I'm not joining.
Ed's gonna join the WhatsApp group because if you guest on my show, then you get a discounted rate, Ed. So I'll loop you in at just $9.99 a month if you fancy
just to say, Gianni on WhatsApp is awful. He goes to bed about 7 p.m. He won't just. He could just give like a one-word answer, and he gives you a 4-minute voice note. It's a flipping nightmare. Ice G says delete the channel, Ed, and I think you're right. I will.
It's going to become a pool channel. Have you seen some of my clips? I might just turn it into a pool channel. Ed, I'm not terrible on WhatsApp.
Sorry, Bongakule. What a name, by the way. Bongakule Makalene. Love your name.
Good pronunciation.
Can remember this season in UCL podcast when he meant to say tips. Yeah. We had an episode where I was trying to say tips, but I said tits, and then the rest of the episode we were talking about tits, which wasn't great. But I'm doing really well now. I'm 3K in the world at the moment.
You do take that game seriously, which I'm glad. You've got some good overall rank history in there as well. Well done.
Last 3 seasons, I've been top 1K twice. So this is going to be my third one. Hopefully.
Amazing. Guys, that is all we got time for today. I am going to be back tomorrow at 4:15 for a 2-hour deadline stream. Come and play. Ed might drop in at some point as well.
Don't you people have lives? Yeah.
Come and play and ask your questions. Subscribes as you leave would be amazing. But thank you for those that watched it on catch up as well. It's been amazing. Ed, thank you for your time. And thank you to all of you in the chat, as always, for contributing to the chat. We'll leave it on this note. Rev says, Authenticator Ed. Thank you, Rev. Cheers, guys. And I'll see you very soon. Cheers, Ed.